Hello and welcome to the Delirium engine, where a weekly show is bi-weekly due to plague.
Unfortunately.
Today I'm here again with my co-host, the Spartan. Boop. And we are once again doing the Let's Module series. And we will continue to do so until the end of time. Hey, we got one viewer this time. That's a clink to the cup. We're drinking it. Boom.
There we go.
One viewer party. Let's crack out the horror movie stuff. I have a suspicion. I don't know if it's true. But I think the 10 subs party might have got me, like, YouTube shadow banned. I think I've been kicked off the register. Completely.
You're on the rise until that
Something about putting hooks through breasts may have triggered the YouTube algorithm viewer censor thing.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's a distinct possibility.
Like I know you could search a sound, but I don't think the Delirium engine will be appearing on any reels anytime soon. So, frankly, we are doing this for our own pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. Cheers to that.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
But to the avid listener, and I do emphasize the singular, we will be once again producing the skeleton, I think, of a module. Not the complete thing. We're not going to go into the dungeons and all that other stuff. Because that takes a long time, and honestly, it's just sitting and drawing and stuff. And maybe this is something we'll do later, but we're going to produce the skeleton of a module. If you want to finish it, you can finish it yourself. Ideally, I think I'm going to get a process, some sort of... I'm going to find some way to set some time aside to turn it into a completed product. Like, with the dungeons and some pictures, maybe some stats in the cast system. You know, just to pump on some sort of product, right?
Yeah.
But, for now... I don't care. We don't need to do that. It's better to have a backlog than a nothing log, right?
Yeah.
So, we'll go with that.
Sounds good to me.
So we're drinking right now, so I know the Spartan will probably only have his little bit, and then there's coffee being made. But I'm going to continue to drink this exceptionally cheap hooch. I am drinking King's Gate, which is like an amaretto a fortified wine, which is basically the cheapest thing other than parish wine that you can buy. Oh. But it's really quite alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
So as the day goes on, I'm going to get more and more ridiculous, or as the time progresses.
Woohoo!
Yeah, fantastic. Maybe I'll start talking about great lie theory and like start getting people to join the cult of the fly, and it'll be beautiful.
Yep. Here we go.
Here we go, boys. Strap in.
Turning the Delirium engine into a cult session.
I might do that too. Like, these are asides, but whatever. We're on radio. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
But as an aside, I've been looking into the idea of writing a spiritual book.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. With the tenets, like, basically turning into some sort of occult text, regarding great lie theory, the cult of the fly, the worship of Beelzebub.
And so it begins.
And well, I posted like a dump on the Delirium engine. I was talking with my roommate about it, and yeah, it's kind of interesting because it's interesting. I don't want to go into it because I could spend hours talking about it, and I think it's pretty fun. Well, needless to say, there's instructions and how-to about magic in there, and the magic's legit. Shaping reality. Fly magic is awesome.
I'm sure I'll hear about it eventually.
I'm sure you will. You could always join the conversation about the Cult of the Fly on the Delirium engine, on the Skunkworks on the cast page. Plug.
Oh, maybe I'll take a look.
I took a dump. I took a dump on there, and it's right there. You could also find all of the modules that we create on the cast on www.cast.org. The cast has a bunch of hyphens between all the letters.
Yep.
Because we're not the Indian caste system. We are the tabletop caste system.
Mm-hmm.
Ours is better because it doesn't discriminate.
Oh. Throwing politics in there.
Boom!
Yeah.
Got there. Okay. Anyway, let's start this shit up. So let's see. Now, if I remember correctly, the challenge is we will be building a module and it has to somehow connect to at least one of the other modules.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we only have one module to connect to. So, we are going to take a quick peek at the Skeleton Solstice. I'm not going to open up the file so that people can look at it because I'm a bum.
But we can look at
actually,
it.
you know what? No,
Let's
let's look at it. Let's see if I can.
Oh.
Modules. The Skeleton Solstice. In rich text format.
Oh.
Well, no, never mind. I'm not going to do it in rich text format. I'm going to do it in this. Okay, is it going to pop up? No, it's not. Okay, forget it. So I don't need to look at it from there because it's nicer here. Okay, so Mr. the Spartan, do you see anything that grabs your attention that we can latch onto? What was your favorite part of the Skeleton Solstice?
I did like the grunches. They were
Grunch,
fun.
Ostman Grunch, the Burgermeister of Ravenholm, and Jolly Rancher Grunch and Tootsie Grunch.
Yeah, I did like them. They were fun.
Okay.
But I think we could do something to take the easier route, one might say. We could probably do something with Port Vale. Port cities are generally good places for stuff to happen.
Port Vale.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our setting. So this is going to be our tangential connection. So I'm just going to put Port Vale here. Is our location. Just to take notes. Lol. Location, Port Vale. Perfect. Alright, so with that said, okay, let's think of some sort of theme. What do we want? What's piqued your interest in the last? What's happened in the last week? Stan Lee died.
Stan Lee did die. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
I think it was the day before. Well, that's no good. Okay, so
No.
Stan Lee died. So you know what? Let's do one to honor Stan Lee.
Remembrance Day was on the 11th as well.
Yeah, but Stan Lee died.
Yeah. And that's to be fair.
Okay, Remembrance Day. So what? A war?
Well,
you want
many
a war?
wars.
Wow.
To be fair, but like.
Two that are really important.
Well,
It's called Remembrance Day, not let's look at the Grindhouse Day. Ooh, politics. Edgy boy.
It's grown over the years to encompass all those who have fallen in combat. But
I guess so. Unless you're in the States when it's called Armistice Day.
Yeah.
It's specifically about the armistice. Which
Yeah.
I think is bullshit. Like, why would you have a holiday about one day in World War II? Especially if you're in the U.S. You basically came in as a cleanup job. It's not like you fucking won that war.
Wow.
Wow, that's a debatable.
Yeah,
I would
that
say
is
Russia
debatable.
won the war, and then everybody just scrambled to try to make sure that Russia didn't take all of Europe because they would have.
You're not wrong. You are most definitely not wrong.
And that sounds more like a way that America can win a war for once. Because it turns out a freedom-loving people don't really like murdering everybody. It's
Nope.
just the people who sell murder weapons that like doing that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's a very large minority. And by large, I mean small. Tiny minority of people. They just have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Anyway, politics. Jesus, let's not do this.
Yeah, let's hop off this bandwagon.
We have enough political channels around. Okay, so it sounds like you want to do a Remembrance Day kind of thing.
Sure.
So, well, we just did the Skeleton Solstice, so we're going to do Remembrance Day. So, at Port Vale. So, what can we do to do some remembrance stuff? Well, what's on Remembrance Day that's pretty fun? Or just like just a thing on Remembrance Day that we can latch onto. My first thinking is poppies, just like heroin. But I don't want to really do like a heroin trade kind of thing. So
no
that's
drug
probably
smuggling?
No drug smuggling. Maybe a war?
Yeah. Naval?
Yeah.
Something to do with the Navy?
Yeah, maybe. Like,
Port Vale could be a fortress city.
what do we have written about Port Vale? Do we have anything written about
Not really much of anything, because it was just kind of a place to go.
The Merchant of Life Lanterns, and there's a Druid of the Orange Vines. Explained. Port Vale is 2 days ride. No, it's just a major port city that we didn't really get into.
No.
Okay. Okay, so why don't we get into it a little bit? Okay, so what is Port? You said it's a fortress city? Like a ocean citadel?
Yeah, that could work.
Okay, so Port Vrail is an ocean citadel. Big walls.
Heavy
Big
cannons.
cannons. So obviously now we have gunpowder. It's an interesting
So.
aspect to the setting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Or they could be magic cannons.
that's cool. That makes sense. And I'll put magic in brackets.
Water can't really fuck up magic.
That's true. So big walls, big magic cannons. Well, what's the problem? Okay, well we got a problem. What do we need? Do we want to do like maybe we want to sink a super dreadnought? Wouldn't that be pretty cool? Just a giant boat.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Stop the war? Oh, that would be fun. Stop. What's a big boat? Isn't the Lusitania like a boat that was like full of people?
Lusitania. That sounds familiar, but
Let's look it up.
I
Let's
can't
look it
really
up.
remember.
I remember
where
the
it's
Lusitania being a thing. Like I think it got people into World War One.
It sounds like a.
There it is, Lusitania. Let's see what Google will say. The sinking of the Cunard ocean liner RMS Lusitania occurred Friday, the 7th of May, 1915, during the First World War, as Germany waged submarine warfare against the United Kingdom, which had implemented a naval blockade of Germany. The ship was identified and torpedoed by the German U-boat U-20 and sank in 18 minutes. I'm sure that brought the UK into the British Empire into the war.
Well, they were already in the war.
At the
That's
time.
just The war started in 1914.
Okay, well.
So that's just a naval. They recruited that ship probably as a troop carrier to move people.
Why don't we sink the Lustrina?
Okay.
We'll call it the Lustrina. It's a play on the words Lusitania. Okay, why don't we sink it? And so we can pick a number, 1 to 10.
9.
Okay, 0 would have been to avoid the war. We want to start a war.
We're starting a war.
We're starting a war for
Okay.
Remembrance Day.
Great. I love it.
Yeah.
Sure, this will go over well.
So Port Vrail is not a very nice city. The powers of Port Vrail want an unregistered or unnamed party to sink the SS, or we'll put it like naval ship NS Lustrina. The NS Lustrina. In order to start a war between two rival city-states / countries. Two rival powers, we'll say, because we don't care what those powers are just yet.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that later. Between two rival powers. That seems like a pretty good... for...
What kind of ship is the Lustrina?
The Lustrina?
Lustrina?
I don't know. I haven't thought of that yet. Well, what do you think? What should it be? Should it be like a super dreadnought? Should it be a cargo ship, a merchant ship? I think it should be something fairly robust.
Yeah.
Also, this isn't
losing
much
a
of
merchant
game.
ship isn't going to do much to start a war, really.
Let's think. It's like the flagship of a rival power, and the two powers are at loggerheads.
Are there flying? Is there, like, planes?
I wasn't thinking that there would be.
No?
There might be wizards that can fly and carpets and shit, but this is a pretty fantasy-based setting.
Okay. So
But
then,
like whatever, like these modules are pretty they're they're pretty. You can mold them to your will. So if there is flying, then it's just something that you got to take into account when you're the GM, right?
Yeah.
Just saying that the MS Lustrina is a super dreadnought. It could be a battleship, an aircraft carrier, like depending on it could just be like a fucking 100-gun, galleon or whatever, like something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Something big enough that it's like a symbol of absolute authority for a country. It's like you sink this thing, this is bad.
Yeah. All right, that's...
And so, like, if we're playing in, like, a hyper-modern setting or in a futuristic setting, hell, in space, you can make it, like, some sort of, like, space dreadnought.
Yeah. That'd probably be a battleship of some kind.
Okay. To sink the NS Lustrina, and we'll call it the super dreadnought.
So when I think about naval ships that symbolize power in a time before aircraft carriers were really a thing, I think of ships like the Bismarck or the Iowa class battleships that America have, or the Yamato Japanese super ship, which are all battleships, which are generally used by nations to this is
just flex.
Yeah, these are our big
flex,
guns.
okay.
These are our big guns type of thing, right? So
yeah. Okay, so we got that. That's pretty good. I think we got the baseline here. So I guess the major challenges here. So I'm just gonna put like a line here. Oh, that works. The major challenges would be probably, and we don't know when this is, will be to find where the SS Lustrina will be.
that was Lustrina.
Sorry, Lustrina. Get aboard it. And sink it. So these are the three major sort of points, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with that said, sinking the Lustrina would probably be the climax, right?
Yeah.
So let's give that a 10. Get aboard the Lustrina. That's probably going to be that's probably going to be like a 7. This is going to be like a multi jump.
Yeah.
And find where the Lustrina is. It's probably going to be like a 1 or a 2. Right. There might be an encounter there where it's just like you go to a. Wow. Yeah, we'll figure that one out.
Find naval charts. That's probably
naval charts. Acquire naval charts. Seek an oracle, maybe.
Yeah, that could work too.
Yeah, there's a player right there. Seek an oracle of the sea, or I don't know, join the army.
Yeah, join the navy.
I guess those are 3 that I can think of off the top of my head that are like options of how to get there. Sure, why not? Let's do it. What do you guys want to do? Sounds good. And then just give like some basics. The naval charts would probably be the easy one. Like that would be the one you'd probably focus on as a GM.
Yeah.
Seeking the Oracle of the Seas would just be like a 1. Like
that's throwing money at the problem.
We'll add a character. And then joining the Navy is like, okay, boys, well, we're going to wrap this up for the day because I got to start this whole, like, join the Navy thing. Maybe write an NPC just so you can have a bit of a session.
Yeah.
But, like...
the recruiter or something.
Yeah, and get through boot camp or something like that. Like, you'd have to add... That's the ad-lib. The PC's just saying, let's do something long.
Let's take the hard road.
Yeah. Should time matter is the thing. Maybe.
Something like sinking a ship? Well, yeah, it might matter if it's... That's more reliant on whether or not the powers in question need the time frame to work. If they don't really care when it starts, then time might not be an issue. But if something needs to happen now...
Well, why don't we just add to the notes? You know, as time passes, multiple attempts will be made against the NS Lustrina. And why don't we just say that they're all gonna fail? Until one will eventually succeed. So this would be at the GM's discretion, I think. You know.
Yeah.
Like if you see that the PCs are fucking around, you've given them their warnings by throwing away, the SS Lustrina was attacked today by unknown terrorist targets, something like that, or the SS Lustrina was attacked today, sabotage on board. They suspect that this other country is doing it.
Yeah.
Something like that. And if they're just still dicking around, or they're like doing whatever they want to do, I guess, just eventually be like, yeah, it's done. The quest is over. You lose, boys.
That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
Shouldn't have dicked around for so long.
You wouldn't have gotten the big reward.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, yeah, that way works. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty. I think that's okay for notes in terms of that. We'll get that going on. So let's do some NPCs here. Call this part. What did we call this? The line, I guess.
Sure.
I'll call it the line. That's our plot line. Oh,
yeah.
Plot line, right? The plot line. I used the word plot very, very lightly, though. Just gonna put that out there, because we're not building a plot. Well, we are, but we're not at the same time, because the PCs can veer off, right? Like, we do this so simply because it's
just a framework.
Yeah, it's a framework. They don't have to follow it, and in fact, if you're a decent GM, there's coffee. The coffee's done. Right? If you're a decent enough GM,
I will try and yell from the kitchen.
Oh, that's fine. If you're decent enough GM, you should be able to ad-lib it out. Like, if they're not interested in your module, like, because obviously that's what this is, right? You just throw it away and pick up another one. That's why we do them every week.
Yep.
Or grab the Chaos Engine, found on the cast page if you want, and just build one on the fly. They're actually quite easy to do. That's why we do them in about an hour and a half. Okay, so... let's go with NPCs. Orange Man bad. Let's make 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that 10? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 3, 4, one more. Ooh. Okay, so... let's grab some ones from Port Vale. Let's go with 3 from Port Vale. And then we're gonna go with 5 for, because I'm running under the assumption that we're gonna get aboard the Lustrina, and that's gonna be the bulk of the game, right?
Yeah. I'd say that's about half, really.
Yeah. Yeah, about half, I guess. That makes sense. And then, like, I got 2 left for extras, so we should be able to go through it. And if we have to move some of these points around, we can do that. That's not that difficult. So in Port Vale, we should probably have some sort of shadowy contact. Let's just give him a really simple name, Mr. Shadow. We'll make him, let's see, what am I thinking? Mr. Shadow. What do you think, a plain-faced man?
Easily forgettable.
Yeah, a man with a forgettable face. It's featurelessness. A product of magic.
There you go.
There you go. Wow, featurelessness is like not even a word. Featureless. Relentlessness. Yeah, whatever. I'll keep it. It's featurelessness, a product of magic. Speaks with, what can I describe this as? A voice that's very low, but also kind of sour. A low, sour voice.
Good enough.
It's very clear. Let's say he makes it very clear that he represents powerful forces in Port Frail. But does not say who.
It's probably people come to him for anonymity. I hope I'm saying that right.
Come to him for anonymity. Yeah. I think that's a forgettable face and average stature. He's like a middle-aged man. He's like, about just under 6 feet tall. And he has like a nose and some eyes and
a mouth,
a couple of wrinkles. He's got some wrinkles.
He's got a face.
He's got a face. Just some gray hairs. He doesn't really have a beard. He's not particularly clean shaven. He's just kind of
scruffy.
Scruffy.
A little bit scruffy.
His hair's kind of sort of long, a little bit unkempt, but not really.
That describes no one.
Exactly. Perfect. It's Mr. Shadow. He makes it very clear, represents powerful force in Port Frail, but does not say who exactly. Will do light services if asked. Politely. Because he wants to get the job done too, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if for whatever reason your party doesn't consist of people who can do some legwork, or you need some basic information, he might be able to go find it for you.
Yeah.
And he won't mind doing that. He's not a nameless Johnson in the Shadowrun, sense. He's actually a guy who wants to get things done. He's not going to do it himself.
That's why you're here.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Shadow's pretty good, I think. Yeah, if we need anything else to say about Mr. Shadow, we can do that. Who else? Who else would be good in Port Frail? What can we,
A leader of some type?
Yeah, I suppose. Why would we need a leader? Because right now, like, if we can keep this on a sort of track, like, obviously you're gonna have to make more NPCs if people want to be like, I want to talk to the king of Port Frail or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I guess you'll have to think of who the king is, but we already have the, like, acquiring naval charts or seek the oracle or join the navy, right? So, like, how would they be able to acquire naval charts in Port Frail, do you think? That's a good question. Maybe that's someone who's in that zone.
Yeah.
Well,
A Charterman?
we could. Well, wouldn't there be a trade company? Like, would a crown trade company of the country that they're working for, would they usually have naval charts of like the we know that the Lustrina was gonna be over here. So like if we travel this way, we know we can always call for backup, right? Like if we get hit by pirates, that's gonna be a safe channel for our country because we know that their military roams these waters. Like, is that a thing that happened?
The Port Vale or the other city-state?
The other city-state, the other power. Like, let's say they have a trade building or an embassy or something there,
yeah,
right? Like
they would keep,
or like a trade company, right? Like some sort of trade company that's state-owned.
They would likely have tabs on where military forces would be, including the Lustrina.
Okay, so what do you think is funner? Raiding an embassy or raiding the trade company?
Trade company.
I would say the trade company as well, because raiding an embassy is already an act of war.
Yeah. It's technically land that the
Actually,
city-state doesn't own.
I
the
kind
other
of feel
one
like
does.
we should have two, so you can have both options.
Okay.
So you know what? Let's do it. Let's name this other country then, or this other power. What's your favorite country on the planet?
My favorite country on the planet?
On Earth, yeah.
In terms of what? Like just general?
Like just your fun, the one that you think is the most fun. Like it doesn't have to be modern. It can be like historical. So you could be like Rome, frickin', the Mongolian Empire. Like it doesn't matter. Like pick something.
Switzerland's fun.
Switzerland? Okay.
One of the most military countries on the fucking planet. Are you kidding me?
Okay. Let's take a name. I kind of just want to call them Swits. Like the Swits. SWIT.
Okay, yeah, go for
like
it.
The Swits.
The Swits.
Okay.
S or Z?
Switzholm? There we go. The Switzholm. The Switz Army Embassy. The Switzholm Embassy. Well, we'll call it the Switzholm Embassy. Switzholm Embassy. The diplomatic center, or diplomatic arm of Switzholm.
What kind of thing is it?
Banner/flag is a knife.
Okay.
The Switz Army
Well, you can't
knife.
forget the cross.
Oh, a knife.
You know they always got that, right? The red and white
A knife
cross.
whose hilt forms a cross.
There we go.
Called the Switz Army knife. Perfect. Perfect, boys. This is what we do here.
We're getting it done. But yeah,
Awesome.
what kind of thing do they run? Like monarchy?
Ooh, that's a good question. What are they?
Because that's also going to influence the markings on the ship.
Wow, let's see here. Okay, pick a number between 1 and 10.
8.
8. Okay, that's closer to 10. So, 10 is the one I picked, and I was gonna say more freedom oriented.
Okay.
So, we're in like, we'll call it a republic. Let's be a republic, because we're not gonna go like democracy of Switzholm or whatever.
Yeah.
And let's not build the Switzholm anarchy. But like the Switzholm Republic will be
Okay.
pretty good. And obviously this is who we're going against, is the Switzholm. The Lustrina is a Swiss dreadnought.
Okay. You should probably throw an R at the front of the N then. The Republic naval ship, Lustrina.
Oh, that's a good thing. Oh, RNS.
The RNS Lustrina.
Or the Republic of Switzholm ship, RSS. Lustrina would probably be good.
Yeah, we could do that too.
Let's do that. Because it's like the... Usually SS is a thing. Do we have the NS Lustrina anywhere else?
Well, SS stands for service ship. And it's like
Oh.
troop carriers and stuff.
Okay, so the RS? Is that what you said, or RNS?
The Republic naval ship Lustrina.
Okay. RNS Lustrina. We don't have it listed anywhere else, right? Oh.
There.
The RNS Lustrina. So we're not going to go into why. Well, obviously the reason why is we want to start a war. And why does anybody want to start a war, right?
Money, generally.
Usually, yeah, money, or they think they can take the land, or they're trying to find some sort of reason.
Yeah.
Or, I guess in this case, we were saying we're starting it between two powers, so maybe Port Vrail wants everybody to fight over its favor. Who knows? We don't know. We'll find a reason. The GM will find a reason based on whatever campaign he's running.
Yep. We'll leave that up to them.
Needless to say, the people of the lords of Port Vrail want this to happen for whatever reason.
All right. So we got the Switzholm embassy.
Yeah. So this is a.
I think that was the chair creaking.
Okay. I thought somebody said something. So let's find a person who deals with this. So let's Well, who's a famous Swedish person? The first one that pops in my head is PewDiePie.
Of course. I don't know.
Jelberg, Lord of the Swedish Embassy. The Switzholm Embassy. Diplomatic arm of Switzholm. Master of the diplomatic arm. Diplomatic arm of the Switzholm Republic. Switzholm Republic. Let's go with, let's just do this one here. It's like, ooh. PewDiePie, because we're going to use PewDiePie, obviously, because Switzerland. This is our thing. So, PewDiePie has what's called the 9-year-old army.
Yes.
So, why don't we say that the people of Switzholm, they have child armies? Like, not all of it, like, not their whole army, but, like, this is a thing. It's like, you know, conscription age is like 9.
Jesus Christ, okay. We're going Spartan on this, I see.
Yeah.
You start at a young age.
Yep, that's going to go in the notes section. Let's see here. Notes. Conscription age for Switzholm is 9 years old. Entire divisions are made up of
goddamn children.
People, of adults of this age. Divisions. So yeah, they use child soldiers for sure, 100%. So this is like, that's the sketchy part of them. Service ensures citizenship.
Goddamn 9-year-old army.
There you go. Yep, Jelberg, Lord of the Switzholm Embassy, Master of the Diplomatic Arm of Switzholm Republic, second son of let's go with General Jelberg, leader of the 9-year-old army. of the youth division.
Uh,
I think division is spelled with an I. Youth division.
There
Great.
we go.
So, all right. So PewDiePie is the general of the 9-year-old army, or whatever, and then this is his second son. Perfect. So let's talk about him then. So who is this guy? Let's go with. Let's see. Well, he's Swedish, so he's going to be accommodating. So he's Switzholmian.
Okay.
Or Switz. So he's an accommodating fellow. Classically, weren't the Swiss pretty rough? Like, weren't they kind of like...
Oh yeah, they were hell to deal with.
Why?
Generally, Switzerland is considered neutral, right?
Mm-hmm.
By all parties. They maintain that by enforcing what's known as aggressive neutrality, which is basically anybody who crosses into their space is considered an enemy.
Okay.
If they are not in times of war.
So let's put violently aggressive when provoked.
Yeah, that would work.
Okay. So violently aggressive when provoked. Always surrounded by young pages who are highly trained killers. So yeah, so he's always got like 9-year-olds with him, and they're always like highly trained, like murderers. But he's like, super accommodating. But if you cross the line, he'll like snap, like snap.
Yeah.
He will literally snap and just be like, he'll put your ass down, and you're on their sovereign territory, so it's okay.
Yep. That's the power of an embassy.
There you go.
You're in their country, but
Yep.
even in another country.
And will use diplomatic immunity liberally. I think I spelled that wrong. No, looks like it's right. Gelberg, Lord of Switzholm Embassy. I like him. He's fun. Good old Pewds. Alright. Okay, so we got the embassy person. That sort of sets up that gives us a pretty good visual of what the embassy is kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really need to go too far into it. Let's just say that the embassy is well stocked. It's not just like a time. Well, whatever people want to make of it.
Yeah.
Whatever they think. It could be a freaking bunker under the ground if we're playing some sort of weird epic game. I guess whatever. Like let the GM figure that one out for now.
That would actually fit with Switzerland's kind of ideals.
Yeah, bunker.
Yeah, they've filled the mountains of Switzerland with bunkers.
That's awesome. That's great. Okay, so we got Gelberg, the Lord of Switzholm Embassy. So the other one would probably have to be, because we were saying we were going to do one for the trade company.
Yeah.
So this is the embassy. This is like, if you screw up, if you decide to go like the goofy way, you don't even think about the trade concern or like a traded company or whatever. You do the Switzholm Embassy. This is like if you screw up, you cause a war with the country you want it. Like you're in, and bad stuff, and you could very well lose.
Yeah.
So.
Military jails aren't fun.
No, bad news. Okay, so the other one would be the trade company. So we'll call this the IKEA Trade Concern. Right?
Alright.
So the only Swedish company that I can think of, I spelled concern wrong, is IKEA. So we're gonna call it IKEA.
Okay.
Because that's how cool we are here at the Delirium Engine. The IKEA Trade Concern. And so...
Just taking real life and twisting it to our own measures.
So let's see here. Like, Do you know any famous Swedish trade people, or do you know any trade people, or do you just want to like play off this PewDiePie thing? If that's the theme, is PewDiePie. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't really know any Swedish trade people very well. I picked Sweden because they're fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, in real life.
I think we've established them as pretty ridiculous in this game. Like just Kjellberg, Lord of the Switzholm Embassy, seems to like establish them as kind of ridiculous, and the child soldier thing, like children trained killers. I think we've got a pretty good idea of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, adults his age, you know, and so this he sort of establishes kind of the mentality, like because you're the only Switzholmian that you'll sort of encounter. So he's probably a good archetype for what they're like, where they're like extremely accommodating right until you cross the line, and then they're just like
done.
That's it. It's
over.
Trigger pulled. You've basically shot yourself in the foot. You know, they will make your life miserable.
Yeah.
So this guy is probably going to be very similar. But like, who do we want to do? Like, what do we want to do here? Dead air, best kind of radio. Okay, let's think of something off the top of our heads here then. Well, seeing as how we got nothing to go, let's go with PewDiePie. Who's PewDiePie's biggest rival other than T-Series? Like, or who's one of his people that he hangs out with? Well, there's Jacksepticeye. So there's okay. Well, let's do that.
I think it's Markiplier too.
Yeah, I think he does some Markiplier, but I've seen him in videos with Jack. Like I think he's actually friends with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like actually friends.
Okay.
So let's go with Jameis?
Jameis?
Jalk? Jalk poison? Jalk poison eye.
There we go.
And then we'll put a colon. We'll master of the Ika trade concern. So Jalk. Jalk is a service first. Wow. Service first businessman whom is loud,
Okay.
boisterous, and entirely too short for his persona. You know what? Let's make him a halfling. And then he's a halfling. Service businessman, loud, boisterous, entirely too short, green hair.
Yeah, you gotta have the green.
Yeah, because he's got green hair. That's like what he's known for. Jock. He's loud, boisterous, entirely too short for his persona. Like all Swits, he is very accommodating.
Yep. Yeah.
But will go off like fireworks when lines are crossed. But the thing to note from a GM standpoint is obviously Kjellberg, Lord of the Switzholm Embassy, is a person who is on diplomatic immunity and on diplomatic soil, etc., etc., etc. And Jalk Poison Eye, which, he's definitely a businessman, so he's not just going to have you killed.
Wow.
He might have you
roughed up
and thrown out of his establishment, but this is not going to become a snafu if you cause problems with him. And you know, his powers are quite a bit limited, right? Like he can cause trouble, but he's not. It's not the same kind of level of poop if you cross the line with him.
Yeah.
He'll just tell you to get bent, right, and maybe not deal with you anymore. So yeah. Let's see here. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
3.
Ha! Okay. So he
Did you
is...
pick 10 again?
Yeah, I picked 10 again. He is lax in his cares for security and his oversights are plenty. Perhaps why he earned the Nomer Poison Eye. I guess it would be a different name, like nomenclature or something. We'll just say nickname. His cares for security and his oversights are plenty. Perhaps why he earned his name for the Poison Eye, because you know he always misses details. Why does he have this position? Who knows? Maybe he's friends with the king.
Yeah, that could
But
be it.
he's not an incompetent. Oh, that's actually a good thing to point out. He's not an incompetent. Competent. Simply absent-minded and lacks detail. Attention to detail. Voice. Coiv. Jesus. I did it again! Irish.
There we go.
Hello, everybody. This is Jacksepticeye. My Jacksepticeye impression is really bad because he does it every day, all the time, and I just did it once. Okay, so we've got Mr. Shadow, who gets you on this quest, and you can interact with him and ask questions of him and ask him to do basic things for you. We have Chelberg, Lord of the Switzholm Army, who you can probably get in touch with, talk to. He's probably your way to join the army as well.
Yeah.
So that and honestly, as a GM, you'd probably use him as your boot camp administrator. So you'd be hanging out with all the 9-year-olds, training, and learning how to become members of the Navy. At least in the beginning. The part of the game where the session would occur. So if they decide to like, oh yeah, we'll just join the army and then just, you know, be double agents. You know, that's the way you would do it, using Gelberg. Jock Poison Eye would be the guy that you talk to regarding maybe signing up on their boats. This is probably a guy that you would use to get on to the Lustrina.
Or at least two.
Or at least to its vicinity.
Yeah.
Right? Like, heck, they might even port with it. Like, who knows? Maybe that's what's going to happen. I don't know. But, or this is a guy where you would steal or copy the naval charts.
Yeah.
In order to get that kind of thing.
Yeah.
To get that information. So let's throw another one in Port Vale. We've got 2 from Switzholm. What's the other power? Let's try one from the other power. Maybe maybe like an investigator.
Okay.
This will be our element of danger. Because these two don't know what's going on, right? Gelberg and Jalk don't have any idea what's going on. Mr. Shadow's directing it, so he's not your enemy. But let's put an antagonist in. Okay? Let's put someone who has an idea that something's going on. All right? And that's a special investigator from, not Switz, but from the other one. So who's the opposite of Switzerland?
The opposite of Switzerland? Yeah. That's a good question. It'd be a country that would be aggressively expansive.
Okay, let's do Mongols.
There you go. That'll work.
Mongol. Okay. You know what? Let's call him Goulash. Goulash. Special investigator. From the Cons of Mong.
Perfect.
I like it.
It's great. Why would they be there, though? Why would they care?
Why would Goulash, special investigator of the Cons of Mong, be there?
Yeah.
Because he thinks the plan's going on. He thinks someone's like they're doing stuff.
Okay.
So he's investigating.
But why?
Because he doesn't want a war started between Swits. Like maybe Mong thinks that Port Vrail and whatever kingdom Port Vrail represents.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they're trying to orchestrate something. Because maybe the Lord of Mong is quite wise. Or they might have an embassy of their own, and then he's just a special investigator. Because that embassy thinks that something's going on. Like, you know, there's always rumors aplenty, right?
Okay.
And then someone might be trying to orchestrate something, so they're trying to find proof so they can bring it to the Ghoul Lord. Because now it's a Ghoul city.
Is it a ghoul city?
I think it is now.
Okay.
The Cons of Mong are ghouls. We're doing that. The Cons of Mong are ruled by ghouls. The Great Ghoul, which would be the king, emperor,
Okay.
is an ancient ghoul. So they, like, when I say ghouls, they're like undead.
Yeah.
And like they might be kind of filthy and uncouth in the eyes of someone who's like really civilized. But yeah, your nobility, the nobility would feel that they have the right to eat humans in order to extend their life.
Oh boy.
So they're all like Wendigo.
Wendigo style ghouls, huh?
Yeah. The nobility believes it's their birthright to eat man flesh.
Oh.
Or eat human flesh for longevity. Is an ancient ghoul. So there you go.
Sweet.
So yeah, in a land of magic and things like that, that would actually probably be a very like reasonable form of government, where it's just like, no man, you know, we want a long and an enduring regime, so we're just gonna take a vampire or a ghoul or a lich or some sort of undead that will basically last forever.
Yeah.
And he will rule this country. Whether or not he rules officially or not is irrelevant. The regime will last for 1,000 years because that's how long these guys live. That's pretty
The
terrifying.
Reich shall stand.
Yeah. 1,000-year Reich. The Khans shall live forever. The Great Ghoul will not choke on a chicken bone.
For he does not breathe.
That's right. Or maybe he does. I don't know. Ghouls are weird. They're kind of all over the place. Goulash. Special Engager from the Khans of Mong. Dispatched by their small embassy in Port Vrail. Did we say that like this was like a kingdom, or Port Vrail was the capital, right?
It was just a fortress city. Like a naval fortress city. It could be the capital though.
No, let's say it's a naval fortress city. Ooh. You know what I can say? We can add just for fun in the notes. Okay? Like just to justify this crap.
Okay.
Port Vrail is kind of like the hub. There is a capital, but there are no foreign powers allowed in the capital. It's like a forbidden city.
Okay.
Okay. So like the capital. Let's give it a name for fun, just so people can reference it. what do we got? Let's take a quick look at the skeleton solstice here.
We had
what do we call
Ravenholm and Port Vale were the two cities.
So Vrail was just a play on the word Grail, and Ravenholm was a play. It's just Halloween sounding, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what we'd call this. What's the name of this country?
That's another good question. Oh, there's another NS there.
Oh, RNS. We need that. Change that quick. I don't know. Let's see here. What's our time right now? Ooh, an hour. Yep. What are we doing? Let's give it a name. Well, we've got Mongols versus the Swiss. Frick, what else can we add here? Well, we got what? Ravens?
Yeah.
Grails. First thing that comes to mind is treasure. So you know what? Let's call it Tress. The capital of Tress. I'll give it 2 S's.
Okay.
The Forbidden City is a massive capital that does not allow foreigners. Within. Rumor has it that it spans the city and many layers underground. Let's do that. Maybe it's secretly run by dwarves. Who knows?
Oh. They are crafty little bastards.
But that maybe secretly or not run by dwarves. Who knows? We don't know. So we don't care yet. We haven't gotten there.
Nope.
But that might be an idea to throw in for the next one if we care. Maybe we'll enter the Forbidden City.
Yeah, there we go. Already lining up the next episode.
Could be. So we were doing Goulash here, a special investigator from the Khans of Mong, dispatched by their small embassy in Port Vale. Master detective. Does not like to interact with anybody. Let's make him shifty too.
Okay. Shifty works.
Shifty, but wise. Okay. Maybe. He's a ghoul. Ghoul, let's say like 200 years old. Dispatched by a small embassy for a villain, not like to interact, shifty but wise. That should work. Yeah, and so he's like hunting down the PCs and any information on the alleged plot to start a war between Hmong and Swiss. Oh. Sweet. So we have a pretty good idea of who Goulash is. I mean, it's not like, obviously you can take a little bit from it.
Yeah.
extrapolate and make them any way you want, but with a name like Goulash, and, you know, we've based him on the Mongols, I'm sure we can figure something out.
Yeah.
Sweet. So, characters that we find. Alright, so, let's just go through this. So, the plot line right now, or sort of the loose plot line, because it's going to be loose, right?
Mm-hmm.
The RMS Lustrina, we'd acquire naval charts, seek the Oracle of the Seas. Oh, the Oracle of the Seas. Okay, so let's talk about that person. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
1.
Okay, the Oracle is female. Lady. Name something that's cool in the water.
Cool in the water?
Like, it's just kind of, it's something watery but cool.
Tiger sharks?
Tiger sharks?
I don't know.
Okay, I put Corallus, because coral is pretty cool.
Corals are cool. Sharks are cool.
The tiger shark. Let's call her the tiger shark. Why? I don't know. We haven't figured that out yet. Oracle of the sea. A distant and aloof, maybe? A distant persona who speaks for the sea god. Ooh, let's make a god.
Oh.
Let's name a god. Come on.
Let's see here. I think we should play it off the word squall.
Squall?
Yeah. Squalls are basically sudden ocean storms.
Yeah. Well, we want this god to be pretty strong or weak? Because squall, like S-Q-U, makes things sound really kind of like...
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
But like, if you get rid of the S and you just like, quall.
Yeah, that could work better.
K-wall. The god Qual. Sure, why not? Let's do that. A distant persona who speaks for the sea god Qual will provide I don't know, divine advice for tides or Gaiuses for crawl or qual. K-wall. But she's super distant, you know. This is one of those ladies that speaks with an echo. Many voices at once. No real personality. Per se. By priests, nuns, or monks, etc.
Alright.
She's got a whole litany. She's an oracle, right?
Yeah, she's got
In a D&D setting. Like, this
doing
isn't
stuff.
like some Oracle of Delphi kind of thing where it's just like, oh yeah, it's just one guy on a mountain. It's like, no, this is like a whole thing.
Alright.
Where does she live though?
Probably the temple.
Yeah, resides on temple. The Grand Temple. K-wall of Qual. On the Island. We'll go male for Maelstrom.
There we go.
Dot dot dot. Guarded by the great serpents. Sure, that sounds cool. So now we have if you guys decide to go do the Oracle thing, there's going to be great serpents. And if there's no great serpents, then you got lucky. Tides. Gaius's for Qual. Okay, great. I think that wraps that up. So, okay. So our players, they found where the NS was sharing, they got the thing, they found the thing. So they either acquired the naval charts, well, they got to acquire the naval charts, or they seek the Oracle of the Sea and they join the Navy. Stuff happens. We're going to hand wave that because that's madness to do all of it. But now they get aboard the RNS Lustrina. So my question is, who's on it?
Well, there's definitely going to be the captain.
Okay, captain. What else?
Well, they're probably going to run into people depending on how they want to sink this thing.
That's
so
true.
there's probably the lead gunnery officer.
Gunner.
If they do something like blow up the magazines.
Yeah. The Lord of the Militia or whatever, like the people who run the men-at-arms in the boat, like the soldiers in the boat.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be the captain because the captain runs the ship, right? So there's got to be somebody on board that actually runs the like military on the board.
Yeah, there would be a
What would we
person
call
that
that?
do that.
I just want to say Master of Arms.
That'll work.
There you go. Okay, Master of Arms. What else we got?
The head engineer would also be somebody.
Alright.
They could blow... Most ships have sea valves. You blow those, and the whole thing will flood. And that would be something in the engineering compartments.
Master Technocrat. I'll just put engineer for fun, huh? And then we'll put stowaway.
Well, we're just gonna have a fun... Some random dude.
Yeah, why not? Let's have a random dude.
Alright.
Okay, so let's see. The captain of the NS Lustrina. Or Lustrina. Who is he or she? Okay, number between 1 and 10.
5. Just to be a shit.
Okay, fine, 5. Alright, it's neither a man nor a woman.
It's a thing. I was gonna say Captain Krieg.
Okay, so... Pardon?
Captain Krieg.
Captain Krieg? Is that the name?
Yeah,
Okay.
like Blitzkrieg.
Okay, so it's neither a man nor a woman, so what is it? Is it an ooze, a demon, a robot? What are we doing? It's a fantasy setting, we can do this.
You could.
Doppelganger?
Doppelganger.
Shapeshifter? Angel?
Let's make it a guy.
Make it a guy?
Yeah.
A man? Okay, Captain Krieg. What's Captain Krieg like? Because you're leading this party, you've already made him a man.
Alright. He's... no nonsense, hard ass.
Okay. Gruff voice.
Yeah.
Jacked as fuck.
Sure. Runs a tight ship.
Charismatic because he's obviously a captain.
Mm-hmm.
Fun features, traits that sort of define his character. Like way over the top. This is a good idea. Things that are over
Maybe
the
he's
top.
like missing an arm or something.
Missing an arm?
Yeah.
Alright. Has he got a prosthetic?
Sure.
Absolutely. What does it do?
That's a good question. I see you've already answered it.
Oh, did I write that?
Yes, you did.
Wow, that must be the classic cream Brights fortified wine talking. So he's Mega Man now.
He's got a freaking arm cannon. Okay.
Sounds good. I like it.
Yeah, it's sweet.
All right, he's got magic arm cannon. He runs a tight ship.
He does. It's the best in the Navy.
Okay, male, no nonsense, hardest, gruff voice, runs a tight ship, charismatic, missing an arm, magic arm cannon. Fucking, I think we got this guy. And he's just gonna be a roving NPC, man. Like he, okay. Often checks up on various areas of the ship. Has a small court. Wizards and advisors. Well, he always has people around him, right? So it's like he's got a star chart guy and this other thing. So like these people are like wizards. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Well, do you want to add more? Do you want like dudes with guns and shit too? Like obviously,
Well,
like I'm thinking this guy's a roving problem.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to run into him.
Like,
Because he'd probably recognize that, hey, you're not part of my fucking crew. What the hell are you doing here?
there's a small court of wizards, advisors. Let's go wizards, advisors, and elite guards.
Okay.
Let's do that. Whatever you want those elite guards to have, you go right ahead and give it to them, boys.
Yep.
Okay, so our master gunner. Let's see here. Let's call him Powder Jack.
Okay.
Because we're from Switz. Gonna put D's in front of things. Powder Jack. Arsonist.
As any good gunner should be.
Absolutely. Arsonist. Sadist.
Yep.
Madman.
Yep. Perfect. Expert marksman. Sawed-off shotguns.
Shut up, shotguns. Shotgun. I'm just gonna put shotgun. Whatever that translates to in your setting, figure it out. If it just means he carries a bunch of naphtha with him and he just throws it on the ground and laughs, ha ha ha. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put immune to fire.
That's probably a good idea.
That's his magic item. He's got a magic ring that makes him immune to fire, so he doesn't give a shit. He'll just he'll blow the city. He doesn't care. It's all good for him. Arsonist, sadist, madman, expert, marksman. Let's see here. Potbelly. Function over form. Let's go with that. That seems like a guy. That paints a picture, don't you think?
Oh, yes.
Alright, I think we have an idea of what this guy is like.
I love him.
Powder Jack.
He's great.
The master of arms. Okay, so Powder Jack is the guy that you encounter if you want to do something with the gunning.
Yeah.
I don't know
you
why.
want to blow up
or
the
if you
ship.
end up going through that part of the ship. I'm guessing the GM would probably put together some sort of dungeon. We don't have the time to do that. I think we're already past, like, we're in the hour and a half mark, right?
Yeah, get
An
that.
hour or 20 minutes. Yeah. So the Master of Arms. Let's go here. You know what? Let's make the Master of Arms the opposite here of Powder Jack here. Let's make him a prim and proper kind of guy.
Her?
Her. Ooh. Mistress of Arms.
Mistress?
Mistress.
There you go.
Mistress of Arms.
There's probably an R in that mistress.
And... No, that's the Mistress. Come on. I think it's Mistress. Like that. Anyway.
You got there. Alright.
So the Mistress of Arms. What's a good womanly name? This is a woman we're gonna try to describe as prim and proper. This is like a buttoned-up kind of lady. This is the kind of lady you bring home to your mom.
Liliana?
Liliana? Like the magic card
Lily?
character? Lily? How about Lilith?
There you go.
That seems like a... That just... I don't know. It evokes more of a like a... You know, button up the shirt kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Lily makes it sound like a little girl.
Yeah.
And Liliana, I don't know. It's too much of a whore name because Magic co-opted it. Because Liliana Vess is just like a woman who bangs demons for magic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she just runs around wearing no clothes.
It's fun.
It's pretty fun. As a funny aside, Liliana Vess is never drawn properly. If you actually look at the pictures they draw of her, they're really terrible. Like the proportions are always so screwed up. Like these are professional artists. Like I'm not saying I'm the best artist in the world. My proportions are shit too. But like there's one where her head is so small that like if you didn't know better, you would just be like, that just looks wrong. Like there's something wrong. You can't pinpoint it.
Yeah.
But almost all the Liliana pictures are like that. They all look just a little wrong. Because I don't know. I guess Magic the Gathering people can't really draw hot girls that look morbid. Because she's supposed to be she's a necromancer, right?
Yeah.
So this is a lady that bangs corpses and shit. Because I think that's actually in her backstory. She's all sorts of weird. And yeah, like how do you draw a person like that? Oh, I guess that's tough. So Lilith. So she's prim, proper, master of the knife. That seemed to roll off.
Fencer?
Fencer. All right, this is that. Fencer. What else can we say about her? Master of the Knife, Fencer, Articulate. Runs her jails. Zero overreaches. Like, so she's not one of those weird like dom girls. Just because we're gonna make sure that we don't get into that. Like she doesn't overreach her authority. Be like, you're in my jail, so now you're sucking on my toe or something bullshit like that. Like, no.
Okay.
This isn't some weird dom.
She's not weird about it.
No. So zero overreaches. None of this weird suitor shit. Let's just not worry about that. So what can we like? Okay, so she's a lady. So what can we do with a lady that gives her like a? Let's give her a feminine twist to her.
Maybe she has flowers or something.
Oh, she likes flowers. She likes flowers. Tries to keep the ship positive. Ooh, but let's make her artistic too.
Okay.
So what we're gonna say here with the Mistress of Arms is she does her job. She does her job exactly by the book. But in her time off, you will often find her. So this is the idea: is like she's another one of those roving kind of entities, but not in the same way as the captain, because the captain is always roving around looking for trouble. She's roving around trying to make things better.
Okay.
So she's not always... She's articulate, does her job exactly correctly, but her and her, like, whatever her guard are, or her whatever gentlemen are always with her.
Yeah.
You know, they... she's usually doing it to like decorate the place, paint the place up, you know, make things look nicer, keep morale up, right?
Yeah.
You know, adding a feminine touch to things. as best she can. Yeah, so that would be that. Tries to keep the ship positive. Wanders the ship, improving it. Yeah, so yeah, that'd be fine. This is like the kind of lady that has a bun in her hair, but like, you know, she's always like sprucing up the plant life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it. I like this Miss Lilith here. She's pretty cool. Okay, the Master Engineer. Let's do something just totally off the
wall.
Off the wall. Okay, this isn't a person. Let's make this some sort of beast. A dragon? Nah.
It's a little too
much.
Too off
for
the
a
wall.
boat.
Yeah.
What's a good engineer creature? Warforged, but I don't want to do that. Let's see here. What would fit? What's something that can like really work? Ooh.
I think something small, rodenty kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, let me bring something up and see if you like it. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
These are pretty obscure.
Okay. Duodrone?
A duodrone.
The hell's a duodrone?
Maybe not a duodrone. Maybe like a let's see here. Tridrone. Okay, so in let's go see here. Oh, come here, mouse, do it. Tridrone. A Tridrone, Forgotten Realms wiki. Let's whatever. Tridrones are an intermediate. Were shaped like inverted tetrahedrons and were capable of performing 3 tasks at a time.
Okay.
Like all Modrons, Tridrones had an absolute sense of hierarchy and order and could not be persuaded to disobey their instructions or betray their purpose in any way. It was, however, for a defective Tridrone to go rogue and start acting in its own interest to no longer in accordance with instructions, sometimes even becoming violent. Such rogues were relentlessly hunted by Modrons. Tridrones are capable of wielding weapons, who cares? Tridrones could communicate with other Tridrones, Duodrones, and Quadrones. They're incapable of communicating with history. Who cares? Okay, so the idea is that this is like a Modron. Like sort of an outsider, which is like a demon or a devil or an angel or something like that, from Nirvana, which is the land of order.
Yeah.
Okay? So this thing doesn't even understand chaos. Like it understands that chaos needs to be destroyed, but like it doesn't understand how to produce chaos. It can only fix things.
Okay.
Alright. And it's like an outsider. This is the thing. And they're pretty tough, but like see if I can find stats. Tridrone, CD, 20 SRD, because obviously they're not in cast. Oh, fuck you. That's just the main page. They don't have Tridrones in here. Whatever, they're pretty strong. There's Quadrones too.
Yeah,
well.
I get the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
Oh, that might be fun.
That seems kind of engineering.
Yeah. So generally what they can do is they can only perform like one task. Like a Modron can only do one thing. A Duodrone can do 2 things. A Tridrone can do 3 things. And like I think a Quadrone. Like once you start getting higher, like they go up. And eventually it starts getting like they can do multiple things all at once.
Yeah.
But the idea here is like like the thing that people don't understand, that sort of doesn't get understood, at least in my opinion, is that like being able to multitask 3 things at once is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like you can only do 3 things. You try doing 3 things at once and see how far you as a human can get. Right?
Most people can.
So Tridrones can do 3 things at once. That's like just part of their thing.
Yeah.
Right? And Duodrones can do 2 things at once. So they can pat their belly and tap their head and pat their belly, right?
Yeah.
But like also they can only do those 2 things. Like that, they're built from the ground up only to do these 2 things. So it'd be like, you know, guard this door and do this one other thing. So a Tridrone could be like, I can do 1, 2, 3, only 3 things, right? But they can do all 3 things at the same time.
Okay.
This is the way I understood it. And then like as you go up further and further, it's just like, yeah, this guy can do 12 things at once. Like he's a greater super demon. Like he's like the equivalent of like a Baelor in terms of Nirvana, and he's like 12 things at once. He can just like multitask.
Yeah.
they don't have good stats for them because they're super like they're really kind of abstract.
Yeah.
And they're like robots, right? So how do you
Super
deal with a robot?
streamlined.
Yeah, they only had stats in D&D like first edition for Primus the One, and he was ridiculous. He was just a big cube that could send you to other planes. It was dumb.
Okay.
He was really stupid. But anyway, the Master Engineer. Let's make him a Tridron. Tridron from Nirvana. Fix the ship. Keep the engine running. I guess there's an engine.
Yeah.
Fix the ship, keep the engine running, and destroy all invaders. So these are the 3 things that he can do. Nothing else.
Alright.
It can do these 3 things. Nothing else. Has 0 personality, 0 willingness to interact, 100% to these 3 tasks. You are an invader if you halt his other 2 tasks. So crew members who keep screwing around with him are considered invaders because they are invading his... He destroys all invaders. The term invader is a loose term. So like, yeah.
I do like it, but I think it would cause more problems than it would as it stands.
Why?
And be useful. Because there will be times when you don't want the engine running.
Well,
Or
okay.
there's just times where you don't want to fix the ship. For various reasons.
Well, why would
So there should be one where it's like follow the captain's orders, but I don't know if that's like a
No, it doesn't work
retardedly
that way.
broad stroke.
No, that's... You know what? No. If there's a way that the PCs can find a way to fix the ship and keep the engine running, okay. Or keep the engine operational. We'll change it from running to operational.
Okay.
Because I can understand the engine running, but fix the ship, that's the thing, right? If this is an oversight by the Swits, then it's an oversight by the Swits.
Fair enough.
Okay? But fix the ship, it's like, oh shit, the ship's not working. Keep the engine operational. Destroy all invaders. Boom. Powerful outsider. Very capable of murder, death, kill. And who do we want the stowaway to be?
The surgeon.
Is that this guy's name?
No, it's what he does.
Okay.
He's bullshitting as the surgeon.
Okay.
Funny story. If you can actually look this up online, this actually happened at some point.
Okay. What am I looking up?
I can't remember what his name is.
I'm the surgeon. Batman: The Dark Knight Returns.
I think it was in World War II. A guy basically faked being a surgeon, trying to like escape from a fight or something. Like he was a deserter or something, and he bullshitted his way in.
Okay.
But then, like, the ship came under attack. So he's like, fuck, okay, I am the head surgeon here. Open the book. Let's see how to do this. Apparently he did quite well.
I see.
He just followed what the book said, and it worked out.
Whizcliffe the Surgeon. Oh, that seems really shifty.
Whiffleclip.
Whifflecliffe the Surgeon. Okay. A surgeon aboard the ship. Paranoid of discovery. Does not know any medical
Practices.
or medical profession. 100%, 1,000% reliant on a manual. Paranoid of discovery.
High bluff.
Very good liar. Takes his position. His position's benefits to the bank. Like, you know, he takes that extra ration for being the surgeon. He does all of that, but he flexes that position.
Yeah.
Whiffle clip. We got one more to go. What do you think? Let's attack the ship.
Attack the ship?
Yeah, when they're on the board of the Lustrina, let's attack it with something. Who are we gonna attack it with? Maybe another group, another party, somebody else.
Pirates? I mean, you...
The Bandit King.
He returns! Gaining control of a dreadnought would be a big thing for pirates.
Yeah.
You have a dreadnought to go pirating with.
Yeah, but what pirates are gonna attack a fucking dreadnought? Like, I guess they're pretty ballsy, but holy man. It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
What about, like, a water elemental?
Yeah.
Quillian, I don't know.
Water elemental.
Titus the Store!
Just take a piece? Yeah. Oh.
What the hell are we doing here?
I don't know. I'm getting cookie
I don't
dough.
want your cookie dough. Get that shit out of here. Dr. Predox comes in with his shitty cookie dough. Get him out of here. I'm trying to stream here. I'm half a bottle of whine in, starting to feel the effects. I gotta get this done quick before I start slurring. So Titus the Storm, powerful Lord of the Waves that attacks. Ship at some point lurks around the ship while the PCs are on it. I'm gonna put that in brackets. Lurks around the ship while the PCs are on it. But lurks around the shop. I got shop on the roof.
Yeah.
Okay, lurks around the ship before attacking. This is something that the ship is aware of as it's happening. Remember, Captain has a bunch of wizards.
Okay.
It's primal, powerful, acts, godlike, but can be negotiated with. So, the diplomatic way through this, right? If you're not gonna like go and destroy it yourself, is to realize that when you're on the ship, like let's say you're part of the army or whatever, right? Like you've socialed your way into the ship, you're a double agent, and they're like, yeah, there's something lurking in the water. It's kind of keeping an eye on our boat.
Yeah.
Don't really like it. It's not really worth it to call in more ships because it's not that kind of a problem. We're gonna have to deal with this when it finally presents itself.
Mm-hmm.
But something's coming. And if you have the means to sort of be like, hey, or you find some clever way to get a hold of it at like night or something under the cover of darkness,
Yeah.
and you can like communicate with it, maybe you can make some sort of like, hey, you know, if you do this one thing, like we'll set this up, da da da, da, and you could find a way to sink the ship using this Titus, the Primal Storm.
Okay.
That seems pretty good. So this crack of NPCs, like this sets up a pretty good pile of stuff. And at the end of the day, this gets pretty okay. Get aboard the Lustrina. So the 2 points here would be find a way to sink it. To sink the ship. Survive. What was his name? Titus. The attack of Titus. And then sink it itself. So like the sink it itself would be the attack by Titus is probably going to be the climax actually. Right? So like that's probably when like the best time to strike is going to be when Titus is attacking the ship.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do it that way, if you fight Titus, then it's going to be like that's going to be a pretty big peak, and then you're going to try to do something else.
Yeah.
Like, but either way, you sink it or and slash or survive the attack by Titus. So that's probably going to be the thing. If ultimately they will defeat Titus if you don't cooperate with them.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something that adds to it because Titus is not going to be enough to take down this giant ship. If that was the case, then you know the ship would have gone long ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these guys have the means to defeat that. You just got to find a way to get through it. And so if the GM decides that like you know Titus's weakness is the wizards around the captain, maybe it's you got to take down the captain. You have to find a way to ambush the captain in his court, defeat those wizards and the captain, and then when Titus shows up, the captain has no wizards.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe it's the gunner, whatever the PC, whatever the whoever the GM is thinks is the funnest character to destroy. Right? And then, yeah, if you're wandering around trying to find things to do or trying to find ways to get into places, like the GM will probably have to make some sort of barriers of his own, mostly because we don't have the time to do this. Like, we're an hour and a half in already. But, and I think we've got a good deal of what's going on here. Like, this is a pretty basic curve. It's like, you know, a good chunk of the game is going to be trying to get aboard the Lustrina. Once you're on the Lustrina, you have to find a way to sink it, which is actually pretty easy. It's like either get through the gunnery, which, you know, if you're going to be the GM, you're going to find the gunner.
Yeah.
And the gunner's a nutter. And that's going to be your big fight, is the gunner. And then once you blow things up, then survive is going to be the attack by Titus. Right? Like, Titus will attack when you've enacted your plan.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're slow on it, then you're going to hear the rumors that something is lurking in the water. Like something almost like a ghost. Like, it's not a creature, because it's a water elemental, right? Like, it's some enormous... It's basically a living wave is going to come and try to sink your ship. Because it doesn't like that you're even in its water.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you get aboard the ship, you got to find a way to sink it. We've got a whole cast of characters on the ship that you can deal with, and I think that sort of exemplifies the kind of ship that we're on. Like, I think that works really well. Titus himself is going to be our climax. He's going to be our 10. He's going to be what makes it takes it over the top. And yeah, once you've sunk the ship, you got to get away. And I don't know how you're going to do that. Yeah. I don't know how the PCs do that. They're going to find maybe a lifeboat or something like that, find a way to get away from Titus. I don't know what they got, but maybe they got something. I'm hoping they do. Because he's going to try to take you all down.
Yep.
And maybe fatigue and hypothermia might sink in if you don't find a lifeboat. Maybe you have to fight the captain for the one lifeboat. I don't know.
Oh
the
boy.
GMs will have to figure that out. What's on this ship that makes it work? Yep. That makes you able to escape? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let's go through it just quickly. So it's like the powers of Port Vrail. I'll just put that here. Powers. Want an unnamed party to sink the RNS Lustrina, a super dreadnought, in order to start a war between the two rival powers. And those two rival powers are the Swits, or Switsholm, and what do we call it? Mong.
The Khans of Mong.
The Khans of Mong. And that would be a semicolon. But anyway, Switsholm and the Khans of Mong. So find it, sink it, and return alive if you can. So you start at Port Vrail. You know, it's an ocean citadel, big walls, magic cannons, all that stuff. So you can describe it any way you choose. But like, pretty much, it's going to be this super fortress city. You know. So Port Vrail itself has Mr. Shadow, which is going to introduce you to the situation. Yep. Hey boys, you look like a bunch of adventurers. Come into the corner here, my shadowy corner. You know. You know, but he's like a guy who will do things for you. He'll help facilitate this if you've accepted it. We're going to run under the assumption that the PCs that you're playing with are the kind of guys who do things, not the kind of guys who are asked to do things and then fuck off. Because Mr. Shadow wouldn't deal with someone like that, I don't think, right?
Yeah.
This is not a campaign for PCs that do fuck all, right? Or just like our crazy monsters that do crazy monster shit. Like, he just wouldn't approach you.
Yeah.
So you have two options. You have a couple of options, but two of which are getting to the Switsholm embassy and either getting in touch with or working around Master Gelberg, the master of the diplomatic arm of Switsholm, and with his 9-year-old army.
Jesus Christ.
And then, or you can go into the merchant way, and the easier path, the smarter path, is to figure out that there is a merchant, sort of a nation-owned trade company called IKEA, run by Julk Poison Eye, and you would be able to somehow get the location of the Lustrina that way. But on your tail, and probably on your tail, maybe even all the way, depending on how the game goes, all the way to the end, is going to be Goulash, the special investigator from the Khans of Mong, who's chasing you down. He's a very good investigator, so that is your carte blanche to put him in any sort of given situation, find ways to stop you, and maybe report back to his masters.
Okay.
Obviously, you don't want him to discover this or get proof. So his goal would be somehow to get proof that you guys are acting against him under the direction of Port Frail. And if he does this, you need to stop him. Because if you are the reason why the war begins, you are going to make enemies of not only the Khans of Mong and the Swits, but also Port Vrail. You will be outcasts. This is a bad end.
This is rough stuff.
This is bad end. That's 3 powers that obviously have some sort of naval authority and water power. Like these are obviously not going to be crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Goulash is going to be your main enemy. What's up?
There's another R.
Oh gosh.
Gotta make sure the R's are in.
That's another thing. I guess I'll put that here.
Oh god.
What's going on over here? Oh god.
Arrows.
Arrows. What's happening? I'll just make sure that that's in here.
Yeah.
Avoid detection by
Goulash.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. So once you get onto the RNS Lustrina, because like you can also like join the army, or you can go all the way down and find Lady Corellis, the Tiger Shark, the Oracle of the Sea, who will basically either give you some sort of quest, or you can just give her piles of cash if you have it, and you can basically fast track your way onto the Lustrina by getting the location. It's like, oh, it will be here. Thank you for the donation from Krell, or you can go on some sort of religious quest. Which may involve something else. Also, you have to fight sea serpents to get to them. Somehow get a boat, somehow get sea serpents, defeat them.
Maybe get permission.
Maybe get permission.
Invited.
Yeah, that would also work. That's for the GM. Hand wave.
Yep. Hand wave.
Okay, so you get on the Lustrina. We've got the captain, Captain Craig, who is the wandering monster of the ship. So whatever you're doing on the ship, there is a good chance that he will show up at some point in time and cause trouble. And by trouble, I mean he will look around and make sure that everything is... The ship is running tight.
Yeah.
All right? And he is always surrounded by yes men and other people like wizards and astrologists and people who can cast magic missile and other spells. So he is a formidable adversary that you probably want to avoid. The GM should make him that way.
Also, he has a goddamn magic cannon for an arm.
Yeah, he's Mega Man. So you should probably not fight him. And if you do want to fight him, then that's pretty sweet, because that might be a way to win.
Yep.
If you want to try to blow the ship up somehow using the munitions, you're going to have to get through the gunner. Powder Jack, who is basically a madman, an arsonist, a crazy person. He will blow up the ship and you in it, and he will make sure that you don't come out of it alive.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the challenge there. It's not so much that blowing the ship up is particularly difficult, it's surviving the explosion that matters, right? And he will make sure that you don't. That's his job. That's what he will do, and he will laugh all the way to the money bank while he floats in the water, because he's immune to fire. Mistress of Arms Lilith is probably the other wandering monster. In a lesser sense, she's not one that you have to entirely avoid, but she is one that your social character is going to have to deal with if you don't avoid her.
Yeah.
The social character has no effect probably on the captain, but at least on this one, she is like the minus version. She's running around, making things pretty, making morale nice. And she always has like a couple of guys around. And also, when you cause trouble, she will be the one that is going to make trouble go away with military people.
Yeah,
She is the Mistress of Arms.
She's likely the first to encounter you after you mess something up.
All the mooks are run by her.
Yeah.
And she will find if words gets back to her that there are intruders on the ship, she is the one who's going to be guiding this, and she runs everything by the book, whatever that means.
Yeah.
If you decide to try to destroy the engine, you will have to deal with an outsider by the name who has no name, but he's a Tedrone, a Tridrone, which is basically a robot whose only purpose is to fix the ship, keep the engine running, and destroy everybody that's intruding on his space. Including the ship itself. So if there are pirates attacking, he destroys those pirates. This is an outsider. Look up those kinds of stats. They have magical powers. They can do all sorts of weird things. Often they can teleport without error. Like that was one of the old things. So this guy can teleport. There's no running away from this thing. If you decide to engage the master engineer, kill it.
Sweet.
It will find you.
Yep.
And then yes, one of the sort of like other things, like if you're stuck or whatever, Whiffle Clip, the surgeon, if you can somehow find a way to reveal him or figure out his sketchy, you figure out that he's kind of sketchy, he might be able to help you
Somehow.
we haven't quite figured that out, but he can do something. Sometimes the PCs will find something they might be stuck with. This is your contact.
Yeah.
Right? He's in the surgeon's bay. He's kind of a guy. He might be able to see a stowaway when he sees it, or he sees what you're doing and he wants to live. He has no real loyalty. So this might be your guy that can give you a helping hand if you're missing something in the game, like if you just don't have a stat or something.
Yeah.
That's his purpose here. And yes, so Lady Corellis the Tiger Shark, we've already established her. She's the Oracle. She doesn't really have a personality at all because she speaks through Qual, the god of the sea. And Titus the Storm is this super, we're going to call him a, terrain level threat that is currently lurking around the Dreadnought. Something that the Dreadnought would normally be able to deal with, but the clever PCs would realize that this plus them equals a dead Dreadnought.
Probably.
Hopefully. Assuming that they can get away with this. So this might be something they can work around. Either they can work with him or in conjunction with him, wait for him to attack, something.
Yeah.
But this is your in. This is your chance. If you can't figure it out yourself, Titus the Storm is the way to go. If you can figure it out yourself and it's a super big joke, this is your freaking... this is what makes it more difficult. This is the monkey wrench in your plans. But yeah. Find the ship, get aboard the ship, sink the ship. Easy. We don't need a long list of stuff. This is the plan.
Yep. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And then once again, as time passes, multiple failed attempts made to get the RNS Lustrina will eventually succeed. So if you haven't gotten aboard the Lustrina, you'll start hearing about how other people are trying to do these things.
Mm-hmm. This is not just you doing this.
We've established that the nation of Switzholm is filled with 9-year-olds. The conscription age is 9, so they have child soldiers, 9-year-old army.
Yep.
Gosh. And the Khans of Mong are ruled by ghouls. The nobility believes their birthright is to eat human flesh and strength and longevity. So yeah, the great ghouls. So the Khans of Mong are pretty scary guys. And yeah, Treese is a forbidden city. Treese, the nation that you're in, and in the last campaign, the nation that we're in is named Treese. And it's, the Forbidden City is a massive capital that does not allow foreign powers. And there is a good chance that it might be run by dwarves.
Who knows?
But we don't know, because the city is forbidden, and the Emperor is unknown.
Yep.
They just call him the Emperor, I guess. I think that's pretty good. Let's save that.
Yeah. Looks good. I like it.
Let's sink the Lustrina. 002. Well, that's good work, boys.
Mm-hmm. We did it.
That's another episode down the belt.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's 2 hours in. We got a whole bunch of... I think this one was actually bigger than the last one.
A little bit.
But I think this one was a little bit more character-based, so we had to start thinking of characters, and we got a little bit further into it.
Yeah.
But, and the other one was just sort of like, this is going to do this, 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 and this. So, it's not... We used the same kind of procedure, but we ended up with sort of different results. This one was a little bit less,
story based,
plot heavy, I guess.
Yeah.
Like story heavy. The barriers weren't in the plot line. They were more in the sort of like, this is what the characters do, and that honestly, that's usually how I like to do these games. I just think it's way easier to be dynamic that way, it was sort of my worry actually coming into the second episode. Well. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. I hope this 2 hours was fun and entertaining. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and post this on the Skunkworks if anybody wants to see the skeleton. At some point, I might make this into a proper module for cast in the future.
I can see it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I hope everybody enjoyed the episode. You guys will take care. Do you have any last words?
Not really.
All right. Well, like, subscribe, do whatever. In the name of the sweet YouTuber, It's a Gundam that I've gotten to watching, but I can't really expect you to do that in the age of apathy. So if you don't, well, fuck it. Who cares? Thank you to our one viewer.
We can hope.
If we're 2 viewers, that'll be even better.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So all you guys take care and don't die.